Hi guys, we're 3 weeks away from the Feast of Trumpets. I got a couple things I want to say. So the date dots, okay, are really starting to connect. So this is just something that I found interesting, is at the start of the Feast of Trumpets, which would be September 22nd if they spot the new moon, plus 1290 days give you guess what date that gives you? It gives you midweek Passover, okay, which is April 4th of 2029. And if you add 1260 days, that brings you to the Day of Atonement, which is September 15th, 2032, okay, which is what Brother Joshua's testimony was. And on a September 23rd is 72.6 of the year will pass, and 726 in the Strong's Concordance means harpazo, which also means the rapture. And a couple of scripture things for you is Leviticus 23, 24 through 25 speaks of the Feast of Trumpets, and Genesis 5, 23 through 24 states that Enoch was raptured. Elijah knew the day that he would get raptured as well. That's why he prepped Elisha, who would take his place. Okay, so all these dates, right? God does nothing without revealing to his servants. Okay, one thing that I was spoken to audibly was what the Lord said to me was, stop looking for the date. Look for, in big bold letters, the event. I know you guys remember me saying that. And I kept saying, Lord, I don't understand what the event is. Well, I knew the event is going to lead to the rapture. I know what the event is. Two things which I found extremely interesting, but not interesting because I'm sure this isn't new news, but it's new news to me, which confirms what the Lord was showing me this past year. Emmanuel Macron, okay, just announced that he and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will co-chair the two-state solution at the United Nations on September 22nd. Okay, and Trump is to address the UN General Assembly on September 23rd. Okay, and we have in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, what does it say? For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. Right? This is what gets me. This is amazing. So we have a date, we have an event. The date, the day that no one knows the day or hour, we know means the Feast of Trumpets. So we have Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, first fruits, and now we have the last three feasts that need to be fulfilled, right, to equal the 7. We have the Feast of Trumpets, we know is the rapture. Then we have the Feast of Tabernacles, and then we have the Day of Atonement. Okay, and we have those. The Day of Atonement, we know Jesus coming back, which the Feast of Tabernacles could be the revealing of the Antichrist. I don't know. I don't know what that fulfillment would be. But biblically, Jehovah God is not going to leave anything out. God is a God of order. Okay, so everything that he does in a timely manner. He gives us dates and timelines. He is the creator of the universe. He created the stars, the sun, and the moon, right? And he even said in Genesis how he created for signs, for seasons, so that we would know, right? So, and he distinctively said that we have the solar calendar and we have a lunar calendar, which we know that starts off, either the new year, or it would end the year, or it begins a month. So God does everything ordained in an orderly fashion. Just like the Antichrist, that's why when he comes onto scene, there's going to be chaos, and he has to bring order from that chaos. And so the thing that I'm saying is this next verse, okay? So we have the 22nd and 23rd of this two-state solution peace agreement, the UN Assembly, right? Along with the same exact time as the Feast of Trumpets. Now, many years ago, I don't know if you guys remember, I was into the Rivkin Ministries and Justin Cotter Ministries, and I did a bunch of lives with Watchmen for That Great Day, John Boucher, and things like that. And one of the numbers that was really stuck out to me was the number 24. And the number 24 has stuck to me for a very long time. I was also revealed in number 23, but 24 has stuck to me more than anything. And so this next verse, in verse 4, after the peace and safety, it says this: "But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as a thief. You are all sons of light and sons of day. We are not of the night or darkness." Okay, therefore, let us not all sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. Okay, and so we are watching, okay, and waiting. So he gives us a date. He just gave us the event that's going to happen that the Lord just revealed to me that triggers the rapture. All of this, boom. All of this is in an orderly fashion. It's finally all came together just like a perfect puzzle piece. The rapture is coming. I mean, we need to get our houses in order. And what's even better is during this time, it's so surreal. It's like there's no way this is actually going to happen. This is going to be another, past thing that's not going to happen. It's going to happen. And those that we have warned, they are going to realize, with the internet not being able to watch these videos, they're going to remember, oh, I've watched her video. I've watched his video. I've heard this person say this. They're going to realize, oh, during the rest of the year when they're going to explain away with aliens of our departure and things. That's why they have that disclosure in November. That's the explanation for that. Okay. And with these UFOs encounters that people having, these blue beams that's up in the sky, that's what that is. And then we have that, the Nephilim coming onto scene and stuff. And we know that the elite have a lot to do with this. Just like the Simpsons are predicting a lot of predictive programming, these events that have led up to what's coming because they have been talking to these fallen angels. And that's how they get access. They know the dark side. They know what's coming. And this isn't going to catch us off guard, but it's going to catch those who are unaware and beating the maidservants and mocking and putting them down, just like Noah. They mocked and mocked and mocked until the rains came down and the door of the ark closed, and they were like, let me in, and only 8 people were spared. So Jesus is coming, and I just thought that this was a little encouragement because it certainly encouraged me. So I'll see you guys there in the air. God bless.